This week on Riley Roams, we start to explore the beautiful state of West Virginia. We go on a few different hikes to enjoy the incredible New River Gorge National Park. We check out the abandoned coal town of Nuttallburg and see the remnants of the town that once was. And we show off one of our most unique Airbnbs yet, the Cotton Candy Cottage, complete with its own escape room. We hope you enjoy our time in Oak Hill, West Virginia.
We are currently staying in Oak Hill, West Virginia. We just made a little 15-minute drive to the Concho Overlook. If you don't know much about West Virginia, there are lots of mountains, there are lots of gorges, there are lots of valleys, there are tons of rivers. So we're really excited to explore. Candace and I have lived in Virginia for our entire life, and we have spent a minuscule amount of time in West Virginia. So that's just kind of how things go.
We are in the New River Gorge National Park, about to do the Endless Wall hike to Diamond Point. I think it's about 2.5 miles, 300 feet of elevation gain. Should be a pretty overlook so we can see the bridge and the river down below.
Established in 1978 as a national river and redesignated in 2020 as a national park, the nation's newest national park and preserve stretches for 53 miles. There are over 50 miles of hiking trails in the park, and several trails following the railroad grades are open to bicycles.
The New River Gorge Bridge is located on U.S. Route 19 just north of Fayetteville, West Virginia. The bridge is 3,030 feet long and 876 feet tall. More than 16,000 vehicles cross the bridge every single day. When the New River Gorge Bridge was completed on October 22, 1977, a travel challenge was solved. The bridge reduced a 40-minute drive down narrow mountain roads and across one of North America's oldest rivers to less than a minute.
Good morning. We are getting ready to explore the old coal town of Nuttallburg, West Virginia. It says here that this guy, John Nuttall, explored the area in 1870 when he heard that the railroad was going to come through the gorge. And while exploring this area, he actually found coal. So he set up a little coal operation, and this became a small coal town. What's really interesting is that in 1920, it got leased to the Fordson Coal Company, owned by Henry Ford himself. So there is a mix of different things that we're going to see here today. It does mention that a lot of the stuff you see is not the original things from the 1800s, but actually from the 1900s when the Fordson Company took over. So
Also, Riley is in her backpack because we read that there was lots of broken glass on this trail. and we didn't want her to step on anything. So behind us is the tipple. If you can see back here, all the coal used to come from way over there in the mine down this long conveyor belt, and it would be dropped off right behind us onto 2 trains at a time.
One of the first things John Nuttall did when he opened the Nuttallburg mine in 1873 was to build 80 coke ovens. Workers produced coke here for nearly 50 years, but changing markets and new technology made coke ovens obsolete. Historians believe Nuttallburg's ovens have been idle since about 1920. Coke is made by baking coal under a regulated flow of air. Raw coal is loaded through the top of the oven. The oven is then sealed and allowed to burn for several days. Then the coke is pulled from the bottom. Impurities have burned away, leaving only high-carbon coke, which burns much hotter than coal. These coke ovens are the only remaining structures from Nuttallburg's earliest days.
So we're going to take the trail to seldom seen and hope we are seen again. It used to be a suburb community of sorts where the miners' families lived. I don't think there's many of the foundations of the houses left, but it looks like from the pictures over here you can see some parts of the foundation.
The square columns jutting out of the ground are part of the original foundation for some of the houses that were down in the bustling suburb of Seldom Seen. Nuttallburg's population peaked in the 1920s at 500 residents.
So these are the ruins of the original company store for the Nuttallburg mine area. What's interesting about company stores is that it was the only place for people to come and buy the things they needed, like groceries and everyday supplies. One of the funny notes that this board here mentions is that it was terrible at like Christmas time because they just had the necessities. So oftentimes husbands would have to buy their wives a nice Christmas axe. One of the downsides to company stores is this is where you could spend your paycheck, and only here, because the mine paid you in what's called script, which is company money. So they would pay you in money that was not accepted anywhere else. You had to spend your money right here.
One of Nuttallburg's 2 school buildings stood on this foundation. How long a child attended school depended on a family's attitude about school and their economic needs. Boys sometimes began work in the mines as early as the age of 12.
It has dropped like 20 degrees since the last hike. We're going to do a very quick trail called the Wren Trail. There is an old abandoned, I think it was a Baptist church down the road here, so we're just going to hike to the church. Might go a little bit further. It says there's some bridges and some trestles out, so we might not go all the way, but we're gonna check out this church. The trail to get to the church is like a mile, and it's a road, as you've seen. And then you get to the church turnoff, and it gets real rugged real quick. Isn't that right, baby?
Yeah, quite rugged.
Yeah.
Very slippery with the leaves in the mud.
Neither one of us fell. I had a pretty good slide, and so did Candace. Of course, Riley was a champion and didn't have any trouble. Couldn't get into the church, which we knew. I was kind of hoping to be able to see some more through the windows, but most of them had like louvers on them, so you couldn't really see. Call me crazy. Something touched my shoulder when I was looking in one of the windows. So it was either the Holy Ghost or the real ghost, and I don't know which one it was, but I was just kind of trying to peek into a window, and I felt something touch my shoulder so much that I turned around because I thought Candace was right behind me, and she wasn't. So.
Wasn't me? Wasn't Riley?
Must have been somebody.
Sorry, Riley, you're stuck in the taffy until someone draws a yellow card. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Riley and I were just playing a game of Candyland in our candy house that we've been staying in. They've got a really nice big couch that Riley's currently laying on. Here we've got the fireplace with a not real, but fake little fire going, creating a little ambiance. Huge TV. Alright, and next let's head into the kitchen. So the kitchen is probably my favorite part of the house. They've decorated all of the counters with little pieces of candy, which is really cute. And yeah, it continues all over on all the counter spaces. Super cute and colorful kitchen. It's a full-size kitchen, which is nice. The best part, potentially, especially for Andrew in this house, is that if you can see around me and all of the cabinets is a ton of different kinds of candy. And you're able to purchase the candy. It's actually the host's daughter's little business that she has. It's $10 per pound, which is quite a lot of candy. I don't think we'll eat a pound of candy while we're here, but maybe we will. And you just pay via Venmo, or you can leave cash in a little bucket that they have. They also have a cotton candy maker.
We will be booting this up here shortly.
And lots of different flavors.
Tons of different flavors.
They've kind of got candy sprinkled all around the house. There's a little jar by where you come in the front door. They also have a little retro candy dispenser here that you can actually pay quarters to get a little, I think it's like a little gumball out. And they've got really cool lights all around. This one's like a little disco light. And little twinkle lights with little gum drops. We really haven't turned any lights on until now because it lights up the whole house pretty well. This is your bathroom. Again, very colorful. Just a small standard bathroom.
I think this piece of art is adorable. They're just kitchen or bathroom sponges cut to look like popsicles.
And then this would be what I would consider the master bedroom of the house. Very large king-size bed, very comfy king-size bed. All right, and then across the hall from the master bedroom is what I would consider the kids' bedroom, but obviously adults can sleep there. The bunk beds are actually like huge bunk beds. I don't know if they're like full or queen size beds, and then it's also a trundle, so this slides out into another bed so you could sleep. Quite a lot of people in here.
Well, I just changed batteries in the camera and came back, and Candace is missing. Let's check this closet to see if she would be hiding in the closet for some weird reason.
Oh my god, I thought I'd never get out of this escape room.
The what?
Yeah, that's right, there's an escape room in this house. You thought it was just a closet, but it's not. It's actually, maybe used to be a closet, but now it's connecting both of the bedrooms. And they decided to make it a fun little tiny escape room. We haven't actually done it yet. We're going to do it later today. But I think the gist is that there's like 4 or 5 different like combination locks, and you get like clues and have to figure out the correct combination for everything. And if you figure them all out, I believe it says somewhere that you get a prize. Which I'm going to assume is maybe some candy of some
I don't know
sort.
why you would assume there would be any candy in this house at all. The tenants before us didn't make it out. That was our first chore when we got here, is we had to pull their bodies out of the closet.
Yeah, sad.
We're gonna try out the cotton candy maker. My hand is holding it because if not, it vibrates really badly.
By the way, we just did the escape room. And it was a lot more difficult than we thought it was going to be. I don't know how long it took us. I'm not exactly sure what time we started, but
At least an hour.
an hour and a half maybe. It was
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot more enjoyable than I thought it would be. Tastes like blue raspberry and cherry.
Why isn't it colorful like at the carnivals?
She literally asked me that 10 seconds when I've been practicing the other day. I don't know. I have no idea. There's kind of color.
Yeah, it does have a very, I don't know if you can really see it, but it does have a very faint bluish color to it. So we decided to make a pit stop at a classic West Virginia staple, Tudor's Biscuit World, and pick up a couple of biscuits. I personally went with the Politician.
Why is it called the Politician?
Well, because it's full of bologna.
That's a giant
That's
piece of bologna.
Yes, quite large. So let's see what this tastes like. It's also very hot. Yeah, I couldn't tell you the last time I had bologna. But yeah, very, very good bologna. And then tons of cheese, and the egg adds a little something to it. But yeah, really good. And the biscuit is really fresh and delicious too. Pillowy, some would say.
It's a good thing Tudor's Biscuit World has good biscuits. I got the Thundering Herd, which is a piece of sausage, an egg, and a big old hash brown on top. Try to get a bite with everything here. It's exactly what you would expect. It's delicious. The biscuits are really good. There's a little bit of a wait picking this up, but honestly, it's fresh food, so I'd rather wait for fresh food. So we also got a little something for Riley that is not in biscuit form, as much as she might want it to be. Riley, do you know what time it is?
Fry time.
It is time for the West Virginia French fry. Sit. Sit down. Good girl.
She also got a little treat at the fast food place too.
Yeah, the woman in the drive-through window asked if she could have a treat, and they had little tiny mini hamburger patties. Like, they weren't meat, they were treats. It looked like hamburger patties, but it was adorable. So she enjoyed
She seemed
that.
to like that.
Yeah, so now she just had her burger and fries. We are gonna scarf these down, and it's kind of rainy, kind of muddy, kind of dreary today, so I think we're just gonna work around the house for the rest of the day, and then we check out tomorrow. We're heading to a different part of West Virginia, and we're also gonna get a few more hikes in before we leave this area.
Thanks for watching Riley Roams. Please subscribe to our channel to keep up with all of our travels. Don't forget to hit that like button and leave us a comment below about your favorite part of this video.